Rockford opens a group home built entirely from scratch in an effort to spread mental health resources in the community.
Bria Walters talks to Stepping Stones CEO about how it can impact those in need.
It means quality of life in a dignified setting.
More than 8,000 square feet of space, 250 yards of concrete, and 140 gallons of paint make up Stepping Stone's new 10-bedroom group home, a project years in the making.
It's the first one that's been built from scratch. So we've been able to kind of picture, in my wildest dreams, what would I want? Video as well.
The home creates short and long-term goals for Stepping Stones, according to the organization's CEO, Susan Shorter.
As people get stable here and they're able to move to more independent living, it will create a space for somebody else.
A half-cent sales tax funds the expansion of mental health and substance abuse services in Winnebago County, and a grant from the Winnebago County Community Mental Health Board helped fund the building of the new facility.
Without that referendum, without the mental health board that was created by the legislature, funding for these types of projects never would have happened.
Though the home is a step in the right direction, President of the Mental Health Board, Mary Annabody, says there's more to go.
There's always a stigma involved, and resources are very limited.
Shorter says the 10-bed, 6-bathroom home creates a place for those in need to heal and grow, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
Case management, we have prescribers to prescribe psychiatric medications.
In Rockford, Bria Walters, WIFR News.
Stepping Stones works on hiring staff for the facility and plans to move its first residents into the space in January. They will focus on those served by Medicaid.